Hey guys, welcome back to lesson 4 of this electric blues course. I'm Dan from Your Guitar Academy, and we're now going to be carrying on our licks. Okay, so we learned the first 3 licks and we kind of went through a lot of positions there. So we went through position 4, position 5 and position 3 of our minor pentatonic, and we added the blues notes as well. So there was a lot of stuff going on. And now we're going to come back to the relative safety of that minor pentatonic, plus a few other little bits, of course. But we're going to be really focusing in on how to get a lot out of that shape, okay? And there's actually some very challenging little techniques here, which once you've mastered, you're going to be able to make absolutely amazing sounding licks from very, very little, as you'll see here. So pick up the guitar and let's get started. Hey guys, so if you're just tuning in, then do remember that you can head on over to the website to get all of the interactive tab, the fretboard diagrams, and the full write-ups for every single lesson. It looks great on the mobile, on the desktop, however you're viewing it. Head over there and we'll put the links in the description and in this video. Also, please do like and subscribe to this video if you're enjoying it so far and if you're enjoying the course, as well as leave us a comment. We make sure we get back to every single comment that you guys leave. Okay, so let's get started by going through this next lick, which sounds like this. Okay, so we're back down to our pentatonic box 1, and we're bringing in, of course, that blues note, so that flat 5th, and we're specifically using that flat 5th there. Okay, but again, it's really worth making sure you've got this scale shape together, all right? Now, the lick is simply this. So it's a relatively simple lick. We're just walking down that shape. So we're starting here, okay? So we're starting from the flat 7 in this case, which is the 6th fret, but try and feel your way through the concept of saying flat 7 or minor 7, 5th, root, flat 3rd. It's going to really help later on as you get into more depth. Okay, so flat 3rd, flat 7, 5th, flat 5th, so there's our blues note. Then the 4th, then down to the flat 3rd. And we're just going to pull off between those two. Pull off, so we got down to the root, and then we're going to slide across. So from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret, or flat 3rd to the 4th. And this is another technique which we can utilize to make a more vocal, more appealing, beautiful sound out of our lead playing, okay? So, okay. So literally all I'm doing is I'm doing a grace note slide again. So that's the idea that rather than 2 separate beats, we've got it all happening in one beat. As soon as you play this note, you slide across to the next note. So we use the similar slide bit in reverse in our previous lick. Okay. Another little extra insight here is that accent. Here. Really accenting that kind of vibe, which is kind of like a triplet vibe, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. That's just an extra detail for those of you who are interested in that. Okay, so that's that lick, okay? And I really want to make sure that once you get to that note there, you're doing some really nice, even, smooth vibrato. So down, up, really gripping the neck with the thumb, okay? And it's a different skill to be able to do the vibrato with your first finger, second finger, third, and fourth. So at every opportunity, practice that vibrato, okay? Now your next lick then, which leads straight off of that, is this. And I think this one is very subtly hard to get right, okay? It's, again, I'll do it again. Okay, there's a few things here. One, if you look at my right hand, I've done a really cool thing which I'm going to introduce you guys to in a minute, okay? But let's just look at this left hand first, okay? So I've gone from the root note. back to that 5th fret on the G string, so back to that 4th, and I'm going to be going up to the blues note, down, okay, and pull off. Okay, it's up, down, pull off, but not even. Okay, it's not, you know, it's not like Wonderful Tonight. You know, it's not even like that. This is why it's hard to get right. I'm going to break it down how I hear it, how I see it, and hopefully it will help you guys. So, first of all, I actually hit the note first before even thinking about the bend. So I go there, and then I slowly go up to that first bend, and then the rest of it goes quickly. Okay, so I go up, I hit the note, bend up slowly, and then quickly through the rest of it. So that down, pull off, and then hit the root note again is all quick. So okay, and as you speed that up, okay, you've got to make sure you get that pull off right. Otherwise, it's going to sound very hard. So what is potentially an easier lick, I think can actually be quite hard just because of that little mechanism there. But try and work with that. And then slide across. So from the where you've hit the there, and then want to come back to that slide again. Okay. So far, I've got these 2 licks which will work really well together. 2, 3. Okay, and we will put these to a drum beat. I kind of just want to group these ones because they all kind of work really well together. 2, 3. Now, one thing I do in the track is I drop the plectrum here. And when I say drop the plectrum, I mean I kind of squeeze the plectrum in between my 1st and 2nd finger. Okay, which leaves my thumb open, and I can use my 1st finger like that. Now that's a technique how I like to do it. Loads of players do this in different ways. I know Joe Bonamassa does it in a very different way, but for me, this is the way I've found comfortable. So rather than kind of literally just putting the plectrum down, you know, the art form is to just kind of put it within your fingers, and then you've got your thumb and 1st finger and other fingers available to you if you want to kind of. You know, it gives you something a little extra. It gives you a kind of more fleshy tone. You play a little differently like that as well. So I would say this is for the higher intermediates amongst you. If you're sitting there and you feel like I've got this, you know, I can do that, then bring this in as well. If that's a real struggle for you, just don't worry about this hand for the moment, okay? That's something to add later on. I just wanted to go through it here because I will naturally do it in my playing. So I literally play the thumb, then my 1st finger twangs this one, then thumb, then that twang of the 1st finger. It just gives a different vibe. If you listen to the 2, that's with plectrum and it's with fingers. Maybe hard to hear via recorded audio, but in the room it makes a big difference. Certainly, I think it makes a big difference. Okay, and then finally we're going to go. I'll do that again, kind of mess that up a little bit. So. That's our last lick of this video. Okay, so we're going to be basically now that all of that lick up to that point was over the 4 chord. Okay, so that's C. Okay, and you can hear that because we were really highlighting the C. This is the C. Okay, I'm playing over a C. You know, C, C, and now I'm going to come back to the G. So I'm going to go. So, a couple of things here. First of all, I'm just doing that little quarter bend twice. Hitting the root note, and then one more time, I'm going to do that quarter bend, okay? And again, I'm using my fingers, but you can use the plectrum. Okay, and remember, I've just given it that question mark, haven't I? that would be finished, but I've gone, because there's a little bit more to come. And that's how I'm finishing it. So I'm moving up into pentatonic box 2. Just moving, doing basically the same lick. So I'm going to go from my little finger on the 8th fret to the 5th fret, that's box 2 of the pentatonic. And then move my position, so I'm in box 3 of the pentatonic, and I go, which is the same, but in a different position. I like moving positions with the same lick because I think you get different tones out of that. Plus, you're going to be able to learn those 5 shapes a whole lot quicker if you do stuff like this. So, the same thing. But this time, I finish on that root note to create that finality of the kind of lick pattern that I'm doing. Okay, so that lick is... One really interesting thing to notice that if I'm on the G string, B string or E string, whenever I do my quarter bends, or bends of any kind really, I'll bend up. Certainly quarter bends. Whereas if I'm on the E, A or D string, I'm going to bend down. Just seems to work better that way for me, so I'll be interested to hear how you get on with that. Like, what's your familiarity with that? Do let me know. Whatever works for you at the end of the day with that, as long as it's sounding like that, not like this. Okay, we don't want that. So let's put those together with a drum beat now. We're going to 60 BPM again, and the first lick of that lot starts on the 3rd beat of the bar. So we'll count to 3, and then we'll go through. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. We'll do that again, okay? So from 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Okay? And we'll do it one more time, just a little bit faster so you can really get a feel for it at 70 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so there we have it. Try and get those licks all together. Remember, again, the subtleties, the bends. Make sure those quarter bends are just working. The vibrato, these new slides that we're working with, these kind of single note slides where we're just utilizing one beat, a grace note slide, you'd probably call it, rather than 2 beats, and everything else that's going into making this sound sing. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We do our absolute best to answer every single comment. If you've got questions, here is the place to write them so that we can get back to you and really help you out with this stuff. If you want to carry on with this course and you're loving it, then you can find the next lesson right here, and you can start the whole thing. The whole playlist is here on YouTube as well. So click one of those 2 links and I'll see you in the next lesson.